Every narcissistic relationship is recognized by the hot and cold pattern cycles of breakup and patch up. A narcissist will leave you one day, but the next day they will hoover you and try to gain back control. They will leave you, abandon you so that you chase them. There is constant inconsistency. There is predictable unpredictability, meaning you can tell what's going to happen next. They discard you multiple times before finally discarding you and never looking back. So how can we tell the difference? How can you know that this time it's the final discard and they're never going to come back? Let's find out in today's episode. I am Danish, a psychologist and a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. Let's get started. All narcissistic relationships go through 3 stages in different ways. The first stage is idealization or love bombing, when the narcissist puts you on a pedestal. The second stage is devaluation, when they bring you down, they tear you apart, and they turn you into a shell of yours. And the final stage is when they have nothing more to extract, or when they feel they're done and they need to chase novelty. This is the crux of a narcissistic relationship. So in between, they leave you many times, making you think and believe that they're done and they're never going to come back. But then they play the mind games. They hoover their way back into your life. They make you chase them so that they can feel important. And that is how game drains the soul out of you. The biggest and the most important sign of a narcissist discarding you for the final time is their lack of fear. Yes, when they lose fear of what you can do to them, how you could try to potentially expose them, and of all the consequences they may face because of the breakup or the divorce. Why? Well, they're not afraid of what you can say about them because they have already said the wrong thing. They have already spread the fake news. They have already ran a propaganda against you. They have smear campaigned and destroyed your reputation in the eyes of those who matter. People who matter are those who can influence their current state of life positively or negatively. I'm talking about their current source of supply. If the current source of supply is a good human being and gets to know who they are and how they have treated you, possibly we could leave them. But the narcissist is a demon and they know how to play this strategic game. They have already convinced this new person of seeing you as a crazy woman or a man who is stalking the narcissist, whose main agenda is to financially destroy them, who wants nothing but parental alienation, who is not happy about the relationship this narcissist has with their children, and blah, blah, blah. This is how the story goes on. The problem is that they have successfully convinced every single person of your craziness, of your abusive nature, which is untrue. It becomes your final discard by the narcissist when they know these people that they have brainwashed are not going to believe your version of the story. In fact, they are going to see your expression of the truth as proof for your craziness. This is how convoluted all of this is. For example, if you reach out and you're all angry about what the narcissist did to you, and this current partner of theirs shows those messages or shares that recording with the narcissist, and he or she will go like, see, this is what I was talking about. I told you he or she is stalking me, and pretend to be a victim and may start crying, thus proving you are this person who has gone insane and lost his mind and only wants nothing but to annihilate the narcissist and to destroy their life. And that is how you will be hated by the cult, by the enablers. Why is what I am talking about the biggest sign of final discard? Well, image. A narcissist's image is everything to them. If they can protect it, if they can prevent you from harming it, then why would they stay in your life? They leave you powerless. They leave you with no option except settling with what they dictate, like how they dictate the terms. They know you can't do much in the court system. Legally, you can't make moves because the court is not ready to recognize emotional abuse. Nobody is there to support you. So of course they are going to leave you. Of course they are going to torture you. Of course they are going to show the evilest side to them. Of course they are going to harm your kids in every way. Of course they are going to become full on abusive and not care about it. So when a narcissist has reserved their new source of supply or sources of supply and has successfully convinced them of your insanity, that's when you should know this final discard. They're never going to come back, and you will have to move on. You will have to strategically safeguard yourself, and you will have to heal that betrayal wound, that betrayal trauma. Betrayal is one of the most painful experiences that narcissistic abuse leaves you with, because everything right from the beginning until the very end turns out to be a lie. You will have to accept, grieve, and move on with. That's the sad reality. But it's difficult. It's easier said than done, which is why I am doing an online workshop in the month of July. The dates are 7th and 14th. In this workshop, I'll talk about how a narcissist betrays you beyond infidelity and how that leaves you with a moral wound. Then I will give you all the tools to learn how to trust yourself and others one more time. If you want to book your spot right now, click the I button above or the link in the description of this episode. Another aspect, another part of this biggest sign is reverse discard. Reverse discard happens when the narcissist makes you leave them by portraying it as betrayal, that you betrayed them. They will give you the most horrible abuse they have ever given you. They will torture you for the way you cook, the way you dress, the way you eat, the way you treat them, the way you raise your children, and so on. Everything will become a flaw. You will feel the suffocation, and you will be forced to take the action and say those words, I want divorce. That is what they want out of you, so that they can blame all of it on you. That is also a sign that they are ready to leave you. They have already replaced you. Now they want to be done with you. It is when they force you to leave them and do the breakup or file those divorce papers, you should know you have been replaced. They are not afraid of the consequences. There are many people on their side. You should get your lawyers, try to explain to them what's going on. Lawyers who are experienced in high conflict divorces, or at least understand emotional abuse, and that's when you should prepare for the battle, because it's going to be a battle. That's what it is, not less than that. Amicability, cooperation, understanding, compassion, none of that is going to work. You will have to fight a war with them with one goal in mind: to corner the beast and to minimize the abuse so that you and your children can heal. The third aspect of the same situation is your intuition. If your intuition feels like this time they're not going to come back, this time it's done, like when you truly feel they're gone, when you feel like, a demonic possession, a demonic entity has left your body, know that it is the final discard, because you know it at an energetic level. When it happens, you may feel torn apart, you may be falling apart, you may feel destroyed emotionally, but you may also know that it's over. That is when you should know it's final discard. That was it for today's episode. I hope you found it insightful. If you did, let me know in the comments. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.